Hello, friends. Come in, come in, sit down, take a deep breath. My name is Miss Carol. I am a former career teacher, now here with you, sharing everything that I've learned over my healing journey on growth and acceptance and true, deep understanding and self discovery so that I can cultivate more meaningful relationships. And in this video, I want to start with a question. And it almost seems redundant to ask, but are you experiencing burnout? Yeah, it seems kind of redundant because that's a lot of us are experiencing that. People pleasing, self doubt, powerlessness. We are at a very important phase in our human evolution. And unfortunately, when we decide to overextend ourselves, there will be plenty of people out there who will take advantage, manipulate, and betray us. In this video, I'm going to go over 3 common ways we give away our power. I'm going to be discussing how to know the difference between when you are overgiving and being of service. And I'm going to give you one crucial thing you can ask yourself to determine where your power lies. So, I feel like I needed to take another deep breath for this one because these videos are so personal to me. I lived in Los Angeles for many years, and Los Angeles has a lot of things. One of the things, unfortunately, that one will experience living there, especially living downtown where I lived, was homelessness. And it was rampant. It was everywhere. And I've even heard that it's gotten worse since I left years ago. But, you know, I grew up in the suburbs and I was never really confronted with seeing homelessness at such a scale. And so when I got to the city, it was very jarring to see all of these people living in such squalor. So I would give money all the time. I would open my wallet and I would give money all the time. And I remember one night in particular, I had just gotten off work. I was a bartender server at the time, so it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And I was on Spring Street, downtown Los Angeles, walking towards the bus. And I was so hungry. I hadn't eaten in hours. I stopped at this restaurant, one of the only restaurants that was open, and ordered myself a sandwich. Had to wait like 45 minutes. There were drunk people everywhere. And if you've ever been the sober person amongst a very large group of drunk and intoxicated people, you understand how irritating that can be. Got my sandwich, walking to the bus. Lo and behold, a homeless person approaches me and asks for money. And I told them that I wasn't going to give them any money, but I handed them my sandwich. What did this homeless person do? They opened the sandwich, scraped out all of the contents in the sandwich, and threw it on the ground. Now, mind you, I had just paid for this sandwich. I had ordered it exactly the way that I wanted it. And I'm watching this man do this in it's such an outer body experience. And then I turn to my right and I see my bus going by. And it was so surreal. It was like I was literally having an outer body experience as this was going on. And I'm saying all this to say that I was in such a place of overgiving and not considering myself that this person was just able to take advantage of me. And I just left myself open for it. It wasn't until I had a friend tell me point blank, do not open your wallet for these people. You are putting yourself in danger by doing that. And the friendship didn't last, but that one piece of advice that I got from him, I'll always hold dear to me. So now I still live in the city. I do not live in Los Angeles. However, when I see houseless people, I no longer give them money, or occasionally I do. And however you choose to give or not give, that is your personal decision. But what I will do is I will look at them in their eyes and I will see them, and hopefully they will see me, and I will recognize their humanity. That is my gift to them. So we are meant to live a fulfilled life. We are meant to live a powerful life. But unfortunately, we overgive and give all of those things away. And the three common ways that we give away our power is seeking approval, the fear of rejection, and being influenced by societal expectations. Now, the fear of rejection, all of these are big ones, but the fear of rejection is so rampant, and there is a direct correlation between the success that you aim to have in this life, the fulfillment that you aim to have in this life that you desire, and the comfortability that you have with rejection and failure. And fortunately for myself, I've met some fairly successful people, and they have a lot of things in common. But one of the things that they have in common is they talk about how their failures have made them the person who they are, not their successes. They more so will demonstrate all the ways that they have failed as a result of not allowing themselves to be overextended, taking risks, and all of those things. Seeking approval. We are like, it's like I think of back when I was in middle school and high school, and I would like call my girlfriends when we would go to the mall. I don't know if kids do that anymore, but like I would call what are you going to wear? Well, I'm going to wear this. What are you going to wear? Well, I'm going to wear this. So it's like we would go back and forth literally about what we would wear. And it was just so that I could get this approval from these people who unfortunately didn't have my best interest at heart. So those are the three common ways we give our power away. And there's one thing that people say that tends to really get under our skin. Who do you think you are? This question or this statement is so, oh gosh, it hits to our very selves, because when we are on a path of deepening our consciousness, of elevating ourselves, there are so many around us that will feel the tension between us and them, that it's almost like we become unrecognizable to those people. So they really wonder, who are you? Like, did you just fall from outer space? Like, what is it that you are doing? Unfortunately, we put ourselves in physical danger when we give our power away. When I was literally and figuratively giving these houseless people money, I was opening myself up to the potential of being physically harmed. When we put ourselves in situations where we are seeking approval, when we are afraid of rejection, when we are influenced by societal expectations, when we give our power away, we are putting ourselves in potentially physical harm. And that is not to scare you, but that is to convey the urgency that that the attention that is required when you are not understanding, when you're giving your power away, when you are over giving. And here's the difference between over giving and service, because we are all here to serve. Everybody has a high purpose of service, and then we have our individual purposes that we have individually. When we are over giving, it comes from a place of our desire for validation. We need that approval. When we are of service, that comes from a place of wholeness. This channel that I have here, I am abundant in compassion. I am abundant in forgiveness. I am abundant in acceptance. So it is my privilege to serve you this information. I have it to give. But when you don't have it to give, you are pouring literally from an empty cup. But how do you know the difference? How do you know the difference between when you are overgiving, being over generous, and service? My sister, God bless her. She had a Toyota Tacoma for maybe about 10 years or so. And because of that, she often was the one that I called, and I know other people called when they had to move. And, she helped me move with over those 10 years, at least 3 times. And every single time she showed up to help me move, she would have something to say, but we would laugh through it. And it would always end up being a wonderful experience that we shared between the two of us. And that's how you know the difference between overgiving and service. Are you attached to the outcome? Are you attached to what is on the other side of this act? So when you are of service of something or someone, there's no attachment to what is on the other side. I am giving you this thing because it comes from a place of wholeness, because I have it to give. Whether you can receive it or not, that's none of my business. I have it to give, so I give it to you in abundance. When you are over giving, over generous, you are attached to the outcome. So if my sister were to come over and help me move, we've all been in those situations where, somebody has said that they're going to help us. And then throughout the entire day, how much longer is this going to take? You didn't tell me it was going to, we had to go to your storage unit. And just saying a barrage of comments because they were not giving, they were giving from a place of the outcome attached to that. That was not in service. When you are attached to the outcome, you are literally, again, giving your power away. The most important thing we have control over, above everything else, is how we feel. How do we feel in this moment? What is it that I am attempting to accomplish? What is my intention behind this decision? I would say, it's maybe about 70-30. Whenever we make decisions, it is 70% the way we feel and 30% our logical, rational mind. That's why it is imperative that we control our emotions so we know and understand the intention behind our decisions. But if we are at the whim of our emotions, if we don't know our yeses from our nos, if we are constantly seeking approval, then we are just kind of, being subject to, again, being manipulated, being lied to, being betrayed. I have had many successful romantic relationships, and it always boggles my mind when I think of the girlfriends and boyfriends that I've had over the years. I have never cheated on anyone, and I have never been cheated on. To my understanding, to my knowledge, I've never been cheated on, but I have never cheated. And when I hear these stories that people are going through in these romantic relationships, it really does bug me out because I'm like, wow, I can't relate to that reality whatsoever. And that's just one demonstration that you will experience when you are grounded in your acceptance of yourself, when you are grounded in the boundaries which you set for yourself. You will be able to delineate, okay, this person is probably have some ulterior motives. This situation probably is not right. This job, I don't know, something feels a little off here. We are so empowered by what we choose to focus on. And this, we have the capability to experience every single day. These little decisions that we make create the momentum of a journey of healing, of a destination of self-discovery. Friends, get into the driver's seat of your life. I had a very powerful I'll speak about that in another video. But Maya Angelou is someone who I still look up to, although she has passed on. And one of the last interviews that she had, she clearly communicated for us to pick up the battle, to pick up this life. To our understanding, this is the only one that we will ever get. Get into the driver's seat of your life. Stop trying to make comfortable people who are uncomfortable. When you get to a place where you have set your boundaries, when you have accepted the mistakes and the flaws and have the audacity to accept yourself and love yourself anyway, when you have come to a point where the number one priority in your life is your comfort and security, you will get to a point where anyone who is living in their discomfort, in their uncomfortableness, um, will either fall away from you, or when they come into your presence, they will have no other choice but to get in a line with who you are. I have experienced this many times. I come into a room and my presence comes there before me. Don't talk to me that way. Don't lie to me. Call me by my name. Those things are important. The world doesn't need another Beyonce, my loves. The world does not need another Cardi B. The world does not need another Law Roach. The world needs you. Your friends need you. Your family needs you. Your career needs you and your unique skills to bring to every encounter. Pick it up. Get into the driver's seat. There's so much freedom. There's so much joy. I am so appreciative of you deciding to show up for yourself and continue to do the work. You are doing the work. Bravo. I will link this next video. Please watch it if you feel called. And I will see you next time, my friends. Be well.